Hi everyone. Let's continue the talk about the fabrication. So we started talking about isotropic etching of glass and the metals. Um, more more because the MEMS technology, the the batch fabrication is borrowed from the silicon fabrication, right? So the etching of like a silicon glass is less investigated. But some application we need the substrate to be transparent, right? In that case, we need the glass as a substrate. Okay, so glass is this is a silicon dioxide. So the common etchant for the silicon dioxide is HF here. Um, Let me have pointer. Okay, but glass etching is more difficult because glass is not pure silicon dioxide. It's kind of a mix up with various materials. Um, but the HF is good for most of the glasses. Also, the as a masking material, photoresist can be only be used up to the 5 micron etch depths. So that means if you need more than 5 micron etching, right? Then the polysilicon is recommended rather than the photoresist. What for the fast etch rate, you can mix with HF and then H3PO4 with this volume percentage, and then at 70 degrees C, the etch rate is 50 micron per hour. So this is quite fast. Well, this is a kind of example of isotropic etching of glass. Um, like some channel application, like a two plate was independently fabricated, and then they are kind of bonded to make like a certain channel, and then inlet or outlet through the channel. So everything is done on quartz. Probably they need to take a look into the like a flow rate or whatever, or they need some transparent to the substrate to access the flow rate through the like for example laser or whatever the optical or any other method that can pass through the transparent substrate. Um, okay, and then sometimes transparency is really important to observe what's going on inside. Okay, so if you, for example, some liquid is going pass through those channels, then if they have like some colors, you can dye it actually. Then you can kind of observe what's going on through the like some process, right? So it's easy to observe under the like a microscope or under the naked eye. So for example, to make this fabrication, for example, they use chrome gold mask, the patterning in this case. And then they protect both sides with the chrome and the aluminum, and that they are etched by the HF solution. And then the chrome and then the gold was stripped. And the other one is, I think this is a reservoir. So this is used as a reservoir plate. Then they use the DFR. DFR is the dry film resist. Okay, dry film resist film was coated as like protector mask, and then I don't know. There is not clearly mentioned what is the way to they etch it down. Uh, and then this film was removed, and they are kind of bonded, direct bonding, and then annealing. Then they can make a channel. So that's one of the example. Um, for the other example, AG4620 is popular. Positive photoresist is usually stick, and then it was used as like a protection mask here. Okay, and then the BOE etching is used to make like a certain channel. Okay, so that's also possible to use. For an isotropic etching of silicon, so the silicon technology have been used for a long time. So like plenty of fabrication methods and recipe, and then their research have been done for a long time. So a couple of things we're gonna touch it over here. Um, for example, etch rate. This is like etch rate limited process. Also, this is temperature dependent, depending on the environment temperature or temperature of etchant. The etch rate will be changed. Okay. Also, an isotropic etching is slower than isotropic etching. And isotropic means there are certain fractionality, right? So it's slower than isotropic etching is done usually by etchant, but an isotropic etching, most of the anisotropic etching, you can use etchant, but for the dry etching, and there are some other dry etching method is also possible. But the problem is their process is slower than the isotropic etching. Okay. So for the good etchant, for the anisotropic etching of silicon, um, um, alkaline and aqueous solution is popular, particularly KOH is popular, or any other uh, uh, alkaline organics is also available. I have been using TMMH before and then KOH before. I prefer KOH. For that, at the time, TMMH was not helpful, so I prefer the KOH. But both etchant are available. Also, or this is the orientation is dependent on this crystal structure. So, in that silicon wafer, you have a crystal structure like a 110 and 100 and 111. The etch rate is well, there is more next slide, but the etch rate is quite different. For example, 111, 110, and 100 is much higher. The etch rate is much higher than the 111. So when you put the silicon wafer with some protections and then with a certain etchant, then because 1110 and 100 is the etch rate is much higher than 111, so that's why they have a certain uh, anisotropic patterns, right? Well, I'm not going over more detail about the etching mechanism because I'm not really familiar with this process. My background is not chemistry, but at least I want to kind of give you some idea of what other people have been done to understand the etching mechanism over here. Well, kind of summarize what this reaction process. Reaction rate is plane dependent, right? And because of the availability backbones of chemical attack, right? So reaction rate is plane dependent. That's the things you should keep in mind. For heavily boron doped silicon, or for example, for heavily boron doped silicon, electrons are no longer confined to surface, preventing the formation of hydroxide. So in that particular doped silicon, you should think about that. This one, this doping preventing the formation of hydroxide. So in that case, it's you should find out the other way. So anyway, I mean, the silicon itself is really the fabrication process is the research was done plentiful way, so you can easily find out what to do to the particular silicon etching. So we'll talk about the etching geometry on, for example, 100 wafer. So, let's say you assume that you buy the wafer with a 100 direction. This is like a silicon substrate, and then this is like the direction that the top surface of the silicon. Okay. That if you assuming this is 100, right, then you can say that this direction is 110, right? This is like a side view of that. Okay. No. What I mean, this is not the side view. So if you look at the top view, this is like a 110 is like a heading toward the screen. Okay, heading toward the screen. This is like a view. Look at from the top. So it should be go on over here, right? If you take a look into from the top, it has like an X shape because the crystal structure. And then if this is the 100 and then this is a 110, right? And then that particular angle, and then the particular angle, right? The plane that will have that particular angle, and then it's also gonna vectorize 110, 111 direction. Okay. So what happens is if you use you make an opening here, and then this is a 100 wafer, and then you do an isotropic etching over here, then at the end actually you have like a you know opposite of the like a pyramid structure you can fabricate. Okay, because again the etch rate, this vertical direction is 100 is much higher than the 111 direction. So this rate is higher, and then their lateral etch rate is higher than the 111. So they kind of keep going down and then to the side, but not the 111 direction anymore, right? Because their ratio is 400 times faster or 200 times faster than the etch rate of 111. So that's why you have like a particular angle, right? Particular angle given here is 54.74. 54.74. That's the crystal direction. Um, that that that's so that you have NW, you have like an isotropic particular shape that with this particular angle is 54.74 degree. Well, this is some of the example. If you have a misalignment, then the problem is your crystal structure and then your mask pattern is not really aligned well. Then when they start cutting down, they keep misaligned. So at the end, it's not really clearly pyramid shape. It's not the pyramid shape anymore. It's kind of a misaligned pattern. Okay. All right. So that's why let's say you wanna build like some like a cantilever structure with opening underneath. Okay, then you can use this kind of a structure like you have 100 plane, like a 100 silicon wafer here, and then you have a mask here, and then you keep etching down here. Then there is a higher etch rate, right, to the side, again, then to the vertical. So and then it's keep attacking this silicon wafer while keeping this particular angle, and then at the end actually you have like a release structure like this. So you have like this is like a cross section here. So this is why you keep going etch down. Then eventually you left out only like um, um, let's say silicon dioxide mask only, for example, or any other structure on top of it. But that particular structure is useful if you have making some sensors with like a cantilever structure. This suspended the beam is helpful to have it. Okay. Well, there are I put some graphs here like the edge rate like 111 direction and then 100 direction, 110 direction. That's also temperature dependent. Okay, H solution is EDP, so that's EDP. But if you use the EDP, the etch rate is temperature dependent. It's like inverse of temperature. So if temperature going higher, that means you're going to the left, then etch rate is higher as well. This is like a log scale here, right? So that means that you have higher temperatures. A etchant can make the etch rate higher, right? Okay, so that's the one of the etch rate and then temperature dependency cover here. Also, if you're using KOH, you have same tendency. You have a higher temperature, you have a higher etch rate. Okay, so this one is okay. This one is one. Okay, 100, and then I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but two of these lines is a 110 direction. Okay. How about the KOH is 45%? In this case is a 20% KOH, but if you have like a 45% KOH solution, then the etch rate, this is uh, micron per hour. I'm sorry, this point is not clear. This is micron per hour. Then their etch rate is increasing, but not linearly. It's kind of non-linearly. Keep increase, keep increasing while the temperatures keep increasing. So that's temperature dependency of etch rate. Okay, well, some surface roughness and then mask selectivity over here. So this is a silicon etch rate by KOH, and then this is a silicon dioxide etch rate as a KOH. So if you want to use silicon dioxide as a masking material for the silicon etching, their etch rate, this etch rate is much smaller than much etch rate should be less than the etch rate of silicon over here, right? So for example, let's say you're using 20% of KOH here, then the silicon dioxide etch rate is less than 50 nanometer per hour, right? 1 hour or only 50 nanometer, this is good for the masking material. But 20%, if you use the KOH here, and then the etch rate is more than maybe 55 micrometer per hour, right? About 1,000 times higher for the silicon rather than the silicon dioxide. That's why silicon dioxide is good for the masking material for silicon. Okay. All right. Okay. Of course. Well, okay. Well, this is about the surface roughness, right? If you have a higher concentration, then their roughness is going down. So higher concentration of KOH is useful to have like a the smooth surface roughness. Okay. So what kind of summarize regarding the silicon etchant is there is KOH and EDP and then TMMH, and this is like in particular temperature. Okay. And then, well, to stop the etch, right? To stop the etch, you have, for example, boron doped silicon. 20. Well, so boron doping actually stop the etch rate, stop the silicon vapor. So if you're using boron doped part, then it will stop your etching of the silicon. For the KUH, their etch rate is 100 direction is for minute is 1.4 micron, and then this is the 1 micron, and 100 direction over 111 is, so how much is for the isotropic etching is KOH is much higher than the other two. So to have good like a 54-degree anisotropic etching rate, you should use KOH because their etching rate is much different from the other two. Okay, and then this is recommended on the mask material. silicon dioxide, silicon nitride, or silicon dioxide. For the EDP, the silicon nitride is recommended, and the silicon dioxide is also good. Okay, right. So that's kind of summarize the talk. Okay, actually you have a homework here this week. If you look at the, in this slide 11, page 11, there is a device like a cantilever structure. I want you think about what kind of a micro machining step is necessary, okay, to make that final structure having that cantilever. Okay, so the way you can present to me is, next slide, I have like cartoon here. This is like cross-sectional view, this is top view, and then like deposit patterning sequential layer, this is side view, and this top view, right? So in that way, I can kind of understand how you build it. Okay, the question is here is also how many masks are required, right? So at each step, you should show me, like a mask number one, like used to make this pattern, and mask number two, so on. So in that way, I can understand why you concluded in like 5 masks or 6 masks. I don't know. So you should kind of show me the way you design the micro machining step, and then how many masks used in that step. Okay. And second homework is I want you kind of investigate the property of following material. This is the kind of some of the popular materials that using it. So, for example, in slide 30, there is like a properties of a silicon, I believe. So you can kind of do the same things. If you choose the graphene, then find out the properties of graphene, and like what is their Young's modulus, and then what is their coefficient of thermal expansion, for example. So pick one of 4, and then the list up. Okay. All right. The final homework is where I show you an anisotropic etching with like a 100 silicon vapor. You have end up with like a angled etch with a 54.74 degree, right, in slide 43. So this particular angle is, I said, is coming from the crystal structure of silicon, right? So I want you kind of find out how how this particular angle is come up, right? Okay, so you should just think about the crystal structure, and then like indices, like we talk about the crystal structure indices. So Miller's indices, and so that's the kind of starting point. Then you should find out how the 54.74 come out. Okay, so thank you, and then see you next slide. Thank you.